Certified Cinephiles.
Take them out.
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 What's up? Hello, welcome to Certified Cinephiles, Season 3.
You know what
The
it is.
season, you know it's Season 3 because Will is still in a
Patrick,
halfway
it's time I
house.
show you exactly how I control Hollywood.
I'm sorry, I'm just
today
hitting
we-
buttons.
What's new with you?
So much is
Goddamn.
new. You know exactly what's new. We are in a new timeline. The eclipse has happened. We are back to our existence pre 2017. I mean, oh my god, can you feel it?
Whoa, that's what that was?
Duh.
It realigned us?
Yes. All of the bad stuff that happened, all the crazy stuff that happened, is gone. It's still in our memories, and it's still in the plane of existence. But we are back to the timeline that predates all the COVID stuff and the Wuhan medical facility leaking that stuff, and or is it bats?
What about Israel and Hamas?
Yeah,
Is
that's
that better now?
that's
Is it all
It-
better now?
it should. Well, that did predate the thing.
You're right. I forgot
That's
about
been
that.
a thing for as long as we've been alive, Pat. That's been a thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
The
but
week-
a lot of
The
things.
eclipse can't. It's gonna take more than an eclipse to fix that stuff. I don't even really know what all that's about. This is a movie podcast. This is
Yeah.
a little movie podcast. We are the world's #1 conspiratorial movie podcast.
Let him
The
know.
the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, lights, camera, action. I just came up with that. That's pretty cool.
So brilliant. That is so freaking brilliant. That is the most brilliant thing I've ever heard my entire
The
life.
Father, the Son. What did I say? The Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, lights, camera, action. And we're Christians. We don't hang cross, but we are Christians. We just don't like to show it off.
We're humble.
but
Sorry.
If
Sorry,
I
but not sorry. We're humble.
if I had my own church, that's what the Pope would say at my church.
Yeah.
The Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, lights, camera, action. It'd be called Christians in Hollywood.
Boom.
Today we're watching Rollerblade 7. This
Very
is
controversial.
Will's favorite movie of all time.
Very controversial. I mean, we had quite the discussion about whether or not we wanted to bring this onto the pod, because this, dealing with not only this movie in particular and its message, but also the man behind it all, the brilliant and very prolific Scott Shaw, who wrote and starred in this movie, and the way that Hollywood elitist deep state has treated him. I mean, this episode's not going to be for the lighthearted. Okay, so a little trigger warning out there. This one's going to be kind of heavy.
Little trigger warning: Will might say the N-word today.
And that N-word is nuclear.
Will's go nuclear
Hollywood
over this
elitist
movie because
deep
it's his
state.
favorite movie. We're trying to nuke the deep state. Will, this movie's insane. Okay, there is so much to talk about. They said this movie is garbage. They said this movie was made by someone with dementia, and or they're super drunk, or they don't know what a film is. They said it doesn't have a script, and It makes no sense. But obviously they are wrong.
Yeah.
Like so many other critics of so many other great films, them talking shit about this great piece of art only tells on themselves that they do not understand.
I mean, I can't wait to get to our critics personally, which will be the end of the show. But the critics, they really, yeah. The message
That's me getting
behind
ready
this,
for the critics.
rightfully so. Rightfully so. Hey, we got Thunder Nuggets 911 in the chat. Welcome to the chat, Thunder Nuggets 911. And
Hello.
it's too bad that this eclipse didn't take away all of the bad stuff that happened with 9/11. I think that there could be another eclipse that is powerful enough that could get rid of
Would it-
that, but
Would it bring back all the people that died?
it should. If there probably is. I mean, you really have to. Me and the guys here at the Halfway House have come together, and I mean, we were sun and taint yesterday during the eclipse, and we are energized. I haven't been able to sleep. I'm so energized. And for
You're
all of those
sunning your
people that didn't sun taint yesterday, you know, whenever the next eclipse happens, there you go.
I didn't
But
sun taint.
and I'm
sun-
sorry if
Why
I
didn't
had
you give me a heads up?
because I didn't have I only have internet for an hour a week. I didn't have the ability to contact you. If I could send pigeons, I mean, we were telling the neighbors, we were telling everybody like, please.
You could have told me last episode.
This was new information to me. This was new information to me.
How does one sun their taint?
Oh, it's easy. You go in the same position you would as if you're going to self-suck, but you just allow, and then you spread cheek, and you allow the sun to hit. And you don't need it. You really don't need an eclipse to sun taint. You should be sunning taint as often as you possibly can. Anytime you can get direct sun on the taint is going to be absolutely vital. And I don't just mean taint is where you should be aiming because you do want to get your testicles and you do want to get your anus as well. Make sure that all of that is getting direct sunlight as often as you can. So me and the guys here at the Halfway House, we've been sunning taint for a while, but you know, and I know I have talked about it a little bit with the sexual kung fu stuff, Pat, but I do apologize that I didn't understand that the powers that the eclipse would have on the sunning taint part.
So, what do you have, like powers now, or you just have a tan taint?
It's hard to say. I mean, I do feel like my mega mind has fully formed at this point. I do have.
I was gonna say your head looks bigger.
Yeah.
I
Do you
have
see the
some-
size
I
of
have
these
some-
cans? The size of these cans on my head right now are as large as they possibly can go because my brain, I truly, I can see sounds and I can hear colors. It's pretty incredible to be on this level of existence.
You're
I'm-
up to 10 books at once.
Yep, I'm
you
up to
said?
10 books. Up to 10 books at once. So it's a muscle
crazy.
though. It is a muscle, and I just want to thank you, Pat, for guiding me on that journey because if it wasn't for you having already previously gone through the Megamind process, I don't think I would have had the strength to do it because it is not easy. It is painful for all those out there.
Yeah. Well, you kind of gave it its style. I didn't even really know that I was a Megamind until you told me. But that makes sense because my head's big. I get called Big Head all the time, and most hats don't fit me. I thought I was just having a bunch of migraines, but you've kind of really taught me how to see sounds, and I still
Hear
don't fully
colors.
get the whole audiobooks thing. That's still I try to, but it just freaks me out. Like I put on all 6 of the Game of Thrones at once,
Mm-hmm.
and it just freaks me out. It scares the shit
You
out
gotta start
of me.
easy, like Barnstein Bars and Winnie the Pooh and all of that.
Oh,
Start easy and build yourself
like a
up.
kid's book.
But here's the thing, Pat, is that is just one facet. that is just one facet of my Megamind skill. I mean, your Megamind skill is you honestly you probably have 3 or 4 Megamind skills that my Megamind will never have. So, and that's just
I
the
don't
way
have
it
a
goes.
tan taint. I don't have a tan taint. That's what I'll tell you right now. I don't have a tan taint.
Hey, well, we can work on that. Tanning your taint, for all the listeners out there, tanning your taint is the number one thing you can do to stop dementia in your later years. And you need to start now. You can't wait until dementia's on the horizon for you to start tanning taint.
It's never too late to start tanning taint.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
Ah, the wrong one. I hit the wrong button again.
You have too many.
I don't have
Andrew
enough-
Tate said it's never too late to start tanning your taint.
Oh my god. Damn, I
Hey.
need that on a t-shirt. I need that on a
Did
t-shirt.
you know, Will, did you know that there's a dog brothel and there's a Danish dog brothel?
What?
Yeah, you can go have sex with dogs. Yeah, some of the
What?
reviewers were saying that it was pretty cool, except they could only do one position.
You're kidding, right? As a joke?
No, there really was a Danish dog brothel, but it got shut down.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. These dogs. Oh, dogs. Okay, Pat, let's tell them what this movie's about. For all the people that haven't seen the legend of the Rollerblade 7, more commonly called Rollerblade 7.
It's similar to the Six String Samurai. Imagine Six String Samurai, but instead of rockabillys, they're like what's it called? Roller derby people.
The
with
roller
swords.
Yeah.
Roller doobies. It's a post-apocalyptic rollerblading movie. What else is there to say? There's an evil pharaoh. He sends out his minions into the wheel zone to abduct a psychic.
A PTSD pharaoh that is controlling the entire skate zone, the United States of America.
The wheel
and-
zone.
Yeah.
You get in trouble if you're not wearing wheels in the wheel zone.
You get
That's how serious.
Yeah, you get locked up and then you get abused. You get
And
abused.
not in a good way.
Not and definitely not by these freaks with their tongues and their leather masks. Yeah. I love this movie, and for the listeners out there, I rode my bike one time from the desert right outside of LA. It's called Azusa, and it's a meth town. And I rode it all the way from that meth town all the way down to Long Beach, California. And the entire ride is on this river trail, and it's through all of the different meth towns of Los Angeles. It's kind of the start of the Inland Empire. And that's where this entire movie was filmed. Every single spot that this movie's filmed in, I have been to, aside from them shooting in Death Valley. But I was like, oh, I've been there. I've seen people shooting up there. I've seen people smoking meth there. I've seen people potentially dead
Smoking
there.
meth and shooting there.
Yeah, seen people like nodding off while they're riding a horse. I was like, this is
That's
incredible.
cool.
Yeah. So this movie covers, this movie, first and foremost, has one of the most aggressive messages against the Hollywood elitist deep state of any movie we've really watched. I mean, this movie is straight up a big old middle finger to the system itself, and it's saying, no more. We will defeat you by any means necessary. If it is my last dying breath.
This movie is like a freaking Rage Against the Machine song. Bruh. It'll make you want to fight the power. It'll make you want to kill some pedophiles. And it'll make you want to buy some roller skates. This movie is sick. So, everyone put up your middle finger and say, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Why
Except
don't you have that on here?
we're saying
you don't have any
screw
cool
you.
ones.
Yes, I do.
You don't have any cool samples.
Yes, kid. How good is that dick? Oh, how good is that
Oh, I hate that one. Stop.
Couldn't find it, but I think I do. I did have a cool one in
Fuck
here.
you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I
Yeah,
won't
well,
do
we are
what
on
you
YouTube.
tell me.
We are on YouTube, so we got to be careful with
Oh.
our F words.
Whoops.
It's okay. I think YouTube allows us to say it a couple times, and especially because you're referencing song. So this movie, The Legend of Rollerblade 7, it takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where rollerblading is the chief means of travel. The evil pharaoh sends his minions outside the wheel zone to abduct a psychic who is fine, by the way, absolutely hot as hell. The passive,
Ooh, man.
the psychic has
Some of
been
these-
trained in a way of the samurai, but she has shunned her training to become a passive. Once abducted, her brother joins forces. He's not on roller skates or anything. He's on a Harley, by the way. And they try to rescue her, but they face many challenges from the dark side.
So sick.
I want to show our viewers some of these pics that we are talking about.
God, to be the fucking...
Let's take a look at
Beast.
this. Look at this psychic, huh? Look
Ooh,
at this
mama.
psychic. You telling me that she stopped her samurai ways
Ooh.
to be a passive?
See, this is what I'm talking about. This is everything I find attractive about the Pope, minus all the stuff I don't find attractive about the Pope.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I like the legs. I like the legs a lot. Something about the legs in this just really
God, I would
for all
kill
of the
to
listeners
be
out there,
her
imagine
panties. I
the
would
most
kill to be her
beautiful thing,
panties.
the most beautiful woman you've ever seen. And she's got a big old, it looks almost like a missile. I guess, is
My-
that a Pope hat?
Yeah, it's a Pope hat.
She's wearing a Pope
My
hat.
bird's waking up. My bird's waking up.
Yeah. Just imagine something so powerful that it wakes up all of the men's birds in this entire country. And that is who the psychic is in this movie. Probably the best part of the whole thing. And of
Yeah,
course,
that's
but
awesome.
the hotties do not end there. We have our hot blades gal here, who is pretty much
Oh, man.
yeah, pretty much freaking naked like the entire time. And she's got a sword, and our main character Hawk, he's got a sword, and they're like touching swords and they're training. And
That looks like a still from The Matrix. It looks so good.
this movie was one of the key reference points for the Wachowski sisters. So, and of course, I mean, they even made the Kabuki clown hot in this.
Ooh,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh man, and then there you get to see
Oh.
Hot Blades in red. She was wearing black in the last pic, but now she's wearing red. And you
Look
see
at her butt.
you see her butt, and the clown. Honestly, I don't know what they were thinking with the clown personally. I think there's some significance there, but they did put her in a lot of clothes, and it just doesn't, to me, in this post-apocalyptic world, it just doesn't seem fitting to me that they would put. Why would you put a female character in the clothes? If the other female characters are not in the clothes.
Yeah, at least put her in a Pope hat. 'Cause
Oh,
that is so hot.
let's put him in the Pope hat. Oh, let's put him in the
Oh.
Pope hat. Oh man.
My God. This movie
Yeah.
unlocked so many new kinks for me. Pope hat girls, rollerblade girls, boobs on rollerblades.
I'm gonna play this rollerblade clip here. I'm just hoping my audio is good.
Uh-oh. My bird's waking up.
I'm gonna play this here. Just see her rollerblading on the river on the San Gabriel.
Look
Oh.
at that. You can tell that the cameraman is also on rollerblades. So
a lot.
cool.
That's what was really great about this movie. And the critics were like, I can't tell what's going on because everything is filmed on rollerblades. Everything is filmed on rollerblades. I cannot tell. Nothing is still. I'm so confused in this movie. It's making
I'm
me
sick. I'm gonna throw up. I have vertigo.
Yeah, the amount of times that
Cowards.
you see the critics saying, This movie will make you sick. This movie will give you motion sickness." I've been sicker watching this movie than I was on a roller coaster, and enough's enough. Okay, I'm sorry that you, if you're telling the truth in the first place, that you have some sort of weird issue where you get sick on roller coasters or watching people on rollerblades, but it's called
It adds to the action.
it's called Wheel Zone. People are up to be on wheels, including the cameraman. This movie would not make sense if the cameraman was not on wheels. If you're not on wheels, it is illegal. What are you
They had the
supposed to
whole-
do?
They had the whole cast on wheels. They had the
Pisses me
boom mic
off.
guy on wheels. They had the craft service best boys on wheels. The,
The
gaffers
tables
were
on
on
wheels. Nothing.
The craft services
was not
tables
on
were on
wheels.
wheels.
Everything.
They really
the porta
committed.
potties, the johns, everything was on wheels.
So they could just push everything to the next shooting area, you know?
And that it was necessary because this was the Wheel Zone. And this is what I'm talking about. Scott Shaw is the creator of this movie. He wrote it. He starred in it. He's known for so many amazing flicks. I mean, we're talking about Max Hellfrog Warrior. We're talking about Samurai Vampire Bikers from Hell. And I just wanted to take a moment to read his bio from IMDb. So Scott Shaw, he was born in the filmmaking capital of the world, Hollywood, California. Scott Shaw spent the early part of his youth growing up in South Los Angeles. He then returned to Hollywood for his teen years. Though living at the center of the film industry, Shaw was not drawn to acting or directing in his early years. He instead placed his focus on his two lifelong passions, the martial arts and Eastern mysticism. The man's a genius. And
Guy's
he's
fucking top G.
and you see that in this movie. I mean, his kicks, his roundhouse kicks, absolute undertakers. I mean, those kicks are burying people, including the Bakuki Ninja. And his Eastern mysticism it's a brilliant way that he's sending the message of these higher powers, these higher entities, and transferring of energy through these films. It's easy to digest, wouldn't you say, Pat?
Yeah, it's kind of similar to the great and powerful oh no. Steven Seagal. Sorry, had a brain fart. I am still getting gang stalked, and it is taking a lot of my psychic energy. Also, my allergies are pretty bad. So bear with me, okay? But
Just a
I
little
just a
message.
lot-
Just a little message to everybody out there that if you are one of the gang stalkers for Pat, we will find you and we will eliminate you by any means necessary.
In a video game.
And
I-
I will make sure that
I
it
have-
ends with you suffering.
Will hooked me
video
up with a
game.
guy who makes human-sized mouse traps, and I've been leaving them outside my house.
Not
and
just
I'm hoping to.
Yeah, and not just regular old mouse traps. It's like the game mouse trap where there's a whole bunch of obstacles, all sorts of stuff coming down. It's a Frank Gable machine. A Frank Gable machine.
No, it's called
A Frank Gable machine.
No, that's not what it's called. It's called a Rube Goldberg machine.
A Rube Goldberg machine. Yeah, it's just like that.
But
This
there are
guy's-
some that are just sticky traps too. That'll, if you step on it, you'll get stuck there.
and that's a fate worse
I will
than
finally
death.
catch you, gang stalking
In a
me,
video game.
taking bites. I ate a Chipotle burrito today. I didn't even get full. Answer that. How does that happen?
Tell him about the spaghetti.
It's
Pat.
because when I look away, people are gang stalking me and taking bites out of my food. How am I supposed to get full if people are biting my food when I'm looking away?
Pat went to a
I
wedding.
had a spaghetti,
Yeah, Pat
I
went to a wedding with a spaghetti.
a spaghetti dinner wedding, And I look away for 1 second. I think I hear some slurping. I look back, only meatballs left on my plate.
It's
And
disgusting.
everyone at this wedding is laughing at me like this man's getting gang stalked. What an embarrassment to this wedding. Why are there all these people here gang stalking him?
At a
I
public
started
event.
asking.
At a public
I
event. Or a
I
private
was
event.
drunk. I was drunk. And I was asking the bridesmaids if they were gang stalking me, and they said no. And then I asked, "Do you want to sleep with me?" And they said no. And then the
Oh.
bride's mom said, "Get the fuck out of here."
That is awful. That is awful, Pat. If I was
Sorry,
there, that
Steve
wouldn't
and
have happened.
Tina.
If I
Sorry,
was there,
Steve and
that
Tina.
would not have happened. Let me tell you that.
I
Pat.
know. You would have had my back. We would have fucked shit up at that wedding.
Do they even
We would've
understand what you've
saved
done
the
for
day.
this country? Do they even understand what you've done to this country? I mean, we
no,
are.
but I can't bring that up. That's tacky for me to be like, I worked with the Navy SEALs. I know the guys that took down Bin Laden. All
Oh
this
my
stuff. You want me to?
God.
That's tacky. I
That you're a
can't bring that
prisoner
up.
of war. That you're a prisoner of war.
No.
See, this is why POWs should be flying the flag. POWs should be flying the flag because here's the thing: is women and men are gonna have to think twice before they say no. They're not interested. I realize how that sounds. Okay, I realize how that sounds, but I don't mean it that
What
way.
are you trying to say?
I'm just trying to say that that should be something people consider where they're like, hey, I just can't think of anybody saying no to wanting to smush with you, Pat. I just feel like everybody wants to smush with you. Everybody should want to smush with you, and then for you to be there and to be so,
I agree.
putting your cards out on the table, and for this mom or whatever to say you need to get out of here and all that stuff. There's no respect. There's no respect for our veterans.
I was a little out of pocket, but again, I was being gang stalked. That does not do good for your mental health. And that's when I got these human-sized mousetraps, and
They're taking all of his ranch. They're taking all of his Hidden Valley ranch. He buys a new bottle. That bottle is gone within a day. It's empty. He has to use this. When you at the end of the bottle, you gotta squirt it out. It's disgusting. I wear 6 GoPros at all times, and it has deterred the gang stalks in my life. I have no longer seen any gang stalkers wearing 6 GoPros at all times. But let me tell you that is work. I have to unload the memory cards every day because I'm wearing them 24/7. But also, I do have government security here because this is technically a government establishment to rehabilitate me for society.
It takes you a while to look through all that footage too. All that you're wearing, all those GoPros. Takes you a while to get through all that. You get home and you take it off, and then you watch all the footage. You're like, oh, gonna watch my right shoulder cam, gonna watch my left shoulder cam, gonna watch the back of my head cam.
Oh my God.
It's a lot of work.
I just realized something that I haven't been watching the videos. I've just been recording and then deleting. Oh.
I mean, that's a good deterrent, but how do you know for sure you're not getting gang stalked then?
Well, yeah. No, you're absolutely right. I have no idea if I'm not being gang stalked anymore because oh my God. I haven't been watching the film. I mean, we're talking 12, 16 hours of footage. I need to be scraping through that.
You just thought you looked cool?
Well, I definitely look cool. I mean, there's no doubt about that, but I just...
Yeah, six or 7 GoPros on you, you're bound to look cool.
I mean, what's the point of a GoPro? Doesn't it alert you when it's recording? When it's like, it alerts you when it's recording somebody?
That's a ring cam.
Oh my God.
That's a doorbell cam.
See, this is what I'm talking about, where this is a level of megamind power that you have that I don't have yet.
Of course, you could just put a bunch of ring cams on you, and then they would be But then if you moved, it might activate them. Yeah, my Megamind is going 100 beats a minute right now, and I'm thinking about it. I don't know. I think that the mousetraps might be the most viable option.
I'm gonna need it. Yeah, I need to get my guy on these mouse traps. Oh my god. Yeah, and well, here's the point. Here's the kind of the problem is that I can't have anything that can be sort of used in a weaponry sort of sense. So I think I might. Oh, this is, if I wasn't going to be staying up due to the tanning of my taint and sunning myself in the solar eclipse, I might be up contemplating this situation because this is pretty hardcore stuff.
Gang stalking is no laughing matter. I don't even know if I believe that you're getting gang stalked, Will.
Of course I am.
I don't know if you could handle it like I can.
Well, that's fair because you do have your military training and not just your training but also your experiences, which I certainly don't take lightly. I can only imagine what you've gone through and the positions and the necessary actions that you've had to take in those situations. And I don't take that lightly.
I just don't appreciate you. It seems like you are taking my gang stalking lightly. Saying I should put all sorts of doorbell cameras on me or something.
Well,
like
I was
that,
just
like
thinking since
some
we both
joke.
were domestic terrorists and we were anthraxed, then
I had to shave my beard.
yeah, I can only imagine that we're both kind of under the same amount of watch. And I mean,
But no one's taking bites out of your food.
That is true. No one's taking bites out of my food. And I guess I am in a halfway house, and I was in prison for a couple months. And you are chilling.
I don't know. Maybe you are getting
chilling
gang
on
stalked. Shit, I don't know.
Bob
but
Iger's yacht and going down water slides and everything. So
I just
I think
see these shadow figures out of the corner of my eye. And I see these people outside. I see these demon faces.
it's a sad reality, but if one of us was to be Truman Showed right now, I would rather watch your Truman Show because you're hanging out with billionaire Bob Iger on his yacht. You're going down water slides. You're eating cotton candies and eating chocolate fountains and you're voicing.
He makes me dress up like
Scooby-Doo's.
Mickey Mouse.
What do you mean?
Bob Iger makes me dress up like Mickey Mouse.
In a suit?
Yeah, and he said, "You can have this cotton candy and you can go down the water slide, but you got to put this on."
Oh.
It's big shoes.
I mean, it
and
sounds
big
fun,
hands.
right? It's not. It's not fun to dress up like Mickey Mouse.
Not against your will. There's a hole for your penis. And I say, "Bob, I don't want to do this. I don't want to dress up like Mickey Mouse. Can't I just have the cotton candy?" He says, "No, you got to put it on."
Are there
Who's
other
your
people there?
goofy? No, it's just me and him. It's just me and him.
I don't even know what to say.
I wanted to tell you before, but it just seems like everyone is got evil intentions, even Bob Iger of Disney. Like,
So what happens after you put on the Mickey Mouse suit?
well, I eat a bunch of cotton candy and then I go down the water slide with them and we have kind of a fun time. But it always devolves into me having to be Mickey Mouse and him being Goofy. And I don't.
So he's wearing a
really
suit
wanna-
too.
No. He's not, but he makes me call him Goofy.
Does he do the voice?
No. No, I think he might think he's doing the voice, but it's not Goofy's voice.
Wow. So there's a hole. There's a hole for your penis.
Yeah.
Are you sticking your penis out of that hole?
I have to. If I want to get the cotton candy, I have to.
And then, but all you're doing is going down the water slide with that thing out in the suit. Or
Eating a bunch of cotton candy. We usually sit down and we talk about like our feelings and stuff, and I eat a bunch of cotton candy. And I'm like, can I finally go down the water slide, Bob?
chat, go off if you think Pat's getting molested by Bob Iger. Chat, go off if you think Pat's being molested by Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney. Chat's going off. Pat, I think, I do think that this might be a bad situation for you.
Are you telling me I'm getting SA'd and gang stalked? I'm getting SA'd and GS'd. And I haven't even gotten JO'd. Huh. I'm getting SA'd and GS'd and I haven't even gotten JO'd. This sucks.
Yeah, this is tough stuff.
I really can't believe I told you all that.
I just appreciate you telling me because, I mean, this is my only hour of internet in the week, and
I got some new weed edibles from this vet. He said they're for dying dogs, and I am high.
Yeah. But I just appreciate you in that moment of honesty with me, and I mean that is why we fight the fight here, and
I just want you to, like, you always bring up Bob Iger, like, oh, you're so lucky to be around him. He's such a cool guy.
Yeah,
I just
Patrick, it's
wanted,
time.
every time you brought that, yeah, thanks for, after I told you all this traumatic stuff, play his voice.
well,
it's not,
because you get to do this.
It's not all, yeah, well, we'll see what happens with that. I don't know if it's getting another season.
Well, Pat, as soon as I'm out of here, you take me on that trip with you. Okay, I don't care if you have to pack me in a suitcase. You take me out on that yacht, and we'll talk to him together. We'll talk to him together when he asks about the Mickey Mouse suit.
Just wait till you see this Mickey Mouse suit. Your heart is going to drop. I can't even... I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, back
it's
to
not
this.
Like a...
Back
it's
to
not
the
a
movie
good Mickey
here.
Mouse suit. It's not a good Mickey Mouse suit. It's like a
not like one you
scary
would see at Disneyland.
No, it's evil.
Oh no!
It stinks too. It smells bad.
Well, you're
My
going down
bird's
water
out.
slides with it. I can only imagine that it kind of smells a little bit of like wet, dank, and moldy.
And you're all wet, and Bob Iger's like reaching for your bird.
Wow.
All right, let's talk about the movie. I'm sorry.
You're so brave, Pat. I just want to say, like, through all of this, if you just want, next time, if you want to bring me along, we'll put a stop to that together. We'll put a stop.
I don't want to go back. You just want a job. You don't care that I'm getting SA'd and GS.
Yeah, right. How could you say that? It's not about that.
You just want the connection. You want to
It's
go
not
on a
about
yacht. You want a
that.
job. You want
It's
a Hollywood
not.
job.
It's not like that. I don't. Especially
all
not
you
with
talk
my
about.
record.
That's
Not
all
with
you
my
talk
record.
about. You're a family annihilator.
Okay, that is true, and I own up to that. And certainly, the Disney Channel ain't gonna be hiring any family annihilators.
Well, they hired that pervert.
That was
They hired Dan
Nickelodeon.
Schneider.
Oh, that is true. Disney did hire the guy that diddled Drake Bell.
Pickle Boy.
Yeah, Disney did hire Pickle Boy. They hired him right on back. They hired Pickle Boy right on back. And they were like, oh, yeah, don't even worry about it. It's totally chill here at Disneyland. So Pat, I just want to say that your intel is so vital to this case, and as much as you might not want to go back, I think it would be really good for the investigation and making changes if you continue to play along and maybe bring me with.
Why do you need to be there?
To record. So I get it on tape. Duh.
So we can blackmail Bob?
Yeah. I mean, we don't know who the authorities are necessarily in this case because, as we know, this rabbit hole runs deep. But one of these days, if justice has to come by our own hands, then it will. But it's very possible that... Forget it. We'll talk this over. We'll talk this over again. We got a movie to discuss. Right, Pat?
Again, I want to apologize everyone for bringing that up. It's not what you're all here to hear.
She told me she was 18.
Let's talk about the movie.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
Okay, Pat. So we got this movie was so packed full of meaningful, concise, incredible, poignant scenes. We had our scenes that made us cry. We had scenes that we might be able to agree with the critics on. And of course, we have the god tier scenes. So, Pat, let's start with the scene that made you cry. Or left you speechless. You don't need to be crying.
Well, something that made me cry was when Bob Iger would grab my penis while I had the Mickey Mouse suit on. He would pull my penis really hard and say, "Let me see that Steamboat Willie. Let me see that Steamboat Willie."
Oh my god.
And he would pull on it so hard that my balls would pop through the hole where my penis was, and it hurt really bad. And that's a scene that made me cry.
Wow, Pat. I'm so sorry. For me, it was this scene where the Pharaoh talks about United States of America.
You are now on trial before the United States of America. What do you think we'll do with you?
I'm
So
not
scary.
blind. I've seen what's been going
He's
on.
so cool.
The abductions, the white slavery.
This is
You're
the
not a
moment right
pharaoh.
here.
You're a devil.
You're right. I am the devil.
Oh my god. That's the scene that got this
So
movie banned.
good.
That's the scene that put a target on his back. That's the scene that put this movie in the ground. And that's the scene that tells you everything as the viewer, it tells you everything that you need to know about this film and why the Hollywood elitist deep state buried it 6 feet deep and said, never shall this see the light of day. And yet, she persisted. And yet, she's out there for people to watch.
Persisted.
Scott Shaw
On free
self
YouTube.
put this out himself because Hollywood said, get the F out of here. You want to ruin us? You want to tell everybody our secrets about the abductions, about how we run this country? Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. So what you want to make a movie but you don't want to do it with P. Diddy or any of these other fucking diddlers out here? You got to do it yourself, and that's
Yeah.
what he did.
And poor Meek
That's what he
Mill has
did.
to host WrestleMania this weekend, and he
But-
knows everybody's
and he
looking
could
at him.
Everyone's looking at the way he's walking to see if his butt hurts. Everyone's thinking about it
Yeah.
because they've heard the video, they've heard the audio of him having sex with Diddy, and everyone's going to be looking at Meek Mill's butt.
Yeah, and he had to host WrestleMania this weekend. Think about that.
Yeah.
Think about that. Awful.
Everyone was looking at his butt.
And the way he was walking.
I missed WrestleMania. Damn.
Hey, that's okay. It is 8 hours long, spread out into 2 days, you can watch it and just watch the highlights, or in my opinion, just watch the last matches of each night, because they're incredible. This isn't a wrestling podcast, but let me tell you that there are surprises and there is some really crazy stuff that goes down, and it'll make you holler. And I was losing my mind. I was losing my dang mind watching it. Highly
It's
recommend.
cool they let you watch it in the house.
Yeah, it wasn't my choice to put on, so it just happened to be on the TV, and it's communal, it's communal. It's good stuff. And Pat, we have, I know you hate this one. But the scene that you might be able to agree with the critics on.
I'm about to bust.
Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes you would make me eat a lot of cotton candy.
Like how much?
It wasn't up to me. Like a lot, and it would make me sick. And then he made me go down the slide. And sometimes I would throw up on my bird.
That's a lot of sugar. And the cotton candy, Pat. It's a lot of sugar.
So that's what I agree with the critics on.
Wow, for me, we're going to be looking at this hot psychic, and we just needed more of her. So I'm going to do my favorite scene where she talks about the naked lady with snakes.
A samurai, a passive, a clown, and a plane crash?
Wow.
A plane crash?
In the wheel zone? That'll be
boy.
the day.
That'll be the day.
A bride.
She's naked.
She's naked.
Covered with serpents.
Covered with
bride.
serpents.
She's naked. Covered with serpents.
Covered in serpents.
A samurai.
She just repeats herself. It's awesome. I mean, a bride
music.
who's naked, covered in serpents.
Beep, boop, boop, beep, boop, 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 boop.
Pretty amazing. And
If that scene doesn't want you to watch this movie, no scene will make you want to watch this movie. That I'll
Yeah.
tell you what.
yeah, and again, this movie is pretty heavy-handed, and it is not for the light of heart. It's not for the light of heart.
Smart people. It's not for smart people.
And it's not for dumb people either. It's for people that surpass. It's for people that surpass both ends of the spectrum. So
It's people that see the world in a quantum field.
yeah, if you can go quantum, then you can understand.
If you can consider a movie good and bad at the same time, you're not there yet, but you're closer to where we're at.
This movie's yin and yang. This movie is good in its execution. It's bad in how it goes over the
A lot of
atrocities
people's
of this
heads.
world. Yeah. And it is going to go
It's-
over your head. It is. If you're
It's so
a simpleton.
heavy-handed that it somehow goes over your head. It's so heavy-handed that it somehow goes over your head.
Well, even the writer Scott Shaw talks about how they took several scenes and they would repeat them over and over again. They would show you because they're like,
yeah,
got to make sure
the
you.
rollerblades are
Yeah.
fun because they're like, it's fun to be on rollerblades.
They
Let's just
even
keep doing
introduce
this."
the actors in the movie. Like when Frank Stallone comes on, they even have a little title card that says Frank Stallone. Don't miss this. And they've had to add that in because people don't get it. They are missing it. And it's just, honestly, it's just a sad reality of the population watching these films because they're not going to understand them for the most part. They're not smart like us.
No, they'd rather watch Paw Patrol or Bluey or these shows that have no substance now.
Yeah, before we get to our God tier scene, I just want to show, I mean, these are the fight scenes we're talking about. Everybody's on rollerblades, the camera, the boom, the craft services. Just look at this fight scene.
And Be actively listening to the music as well.
Look at this. Absolutely amazing. In Death Valley, everybody's on rollerblades on the sand. Bukkake Devil.
Look at the speed. This is a fast-paced action scene.
Look, and they're like, oh, did you miss Bukkake Devil hitting him? Because he's going to do it again.
Here's a
So
cool
that you don't
angle.
miss it. See, they're like, we're going to show it a couple times so that just to make sure
Yeah,
you,
oh,
you didn't
what?
look away at the
Is
wrong
it-
time.
Everyone's standing again. I have it on good authority that the editor was also on skates while he had a
Editor was on
desk.
skate. Yeah, everything. And back in the day, I mean, those computers were heavy, but those were on skates. And the whole process was all done on skates. They wanted to stay true to
Post-production.
the reality that they created in this world. World building is a hard thing to do. Every storyteller, writer, producer, creator will tell you that world building is hard. I mean, that's why they call it hard sci-fi. It's because you have all of that exposition, you have all of the world building that's included in those novels. And you have to repeat.
The Dune Worm took a lot of brain power to be invented. Those
Pat,
teeth.
Guess what I got? Can I show you what I got? One of the guys went to Dune 2.
You didn't. No. That's world building. See, when you do. Oh.
This is it's a Dune bucket, and you get popcorn out of it. So you just reach your hand in there. You get the popcorn.
Oh.
You can fit your.
That's world building.
You can fit your whole wrist.
What's it
in
feel
there.
like in there? What's like the humidity in there?
Very moist. Very moist, very warm.
Oh. Dang.
Isn't that cool? Wish I had one.
That's cool. You get to play with it.
Yeah, he just left it in the communal space because he was like, hey, everybody, check this out. You can check it out if you want. So we've all just been kind of like looking at it, playing around with it. It's kind of fun, you know? Just
That's
kind of fun.
cool.
Yeah. It's pretty a little wet in there, but reeks of hand soap, which is nuts.
Wow. I want to get another quick look at the top of that thing. Yeah. Wow, that's world building.
Yeah, and you think that it just there's grip. There's grip. So it's kind of fun when you're eating popcorn.
Oh.
There's grip to this thing. There's grip
That-
to this thing when you're eating popcorn.
Yeah, when you're eating popcorn. That is awesome.
But yeah,
Whoa.
the sandworms, just imagine a sandworm. God, this thing reeks like hand soap. It's crazy.
Oh. It's good he keeps it clean. Dang, look at those teeth on that sucker.
Yeah, there's grip.
You are lucky.
It is. It's one of the pleasures in life is having this thing around.
Mm-hmm. Just one of the perks of being in a halfway house.
And now, you know what time it is.
Is that dick good?
There it is. It's time for the God tier scene.
God tier scene. You know what I mean? It's a God tier scene. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Pat, I know it was so hard to tell. I mean, this movie had so many amazing moments. I mean, trying to create a list of scenes, even my top 5 was really difficult for me. And I know I've had a lot longer of a time spent with this film than you. So, what ended up making the cut for you?
A cut?
Yeah, what was the God tier scene for you?
That moment when you are able to get that soaking wet Mickey Mouse suit off of you.
Oh,
and
this
just
again.
be by yourself. Just be by your after hanging out with Bob Iger all day. Just getting to be by yourself, dry off, and look yourself in the mirror and say, "This is what you wanted. This is the career you wanted. You are Scooby-Doo on HBO's Velma. This is what you wanted." That is what it's all worth. You know, it's what makes it all worth it.
Wow. For me, it was the Bukkake Ninja. This guy is so cool. This guy is the coolest freaking thing, and I'm so happy that they put the title of the thing in there. And he is the best part of this whole film. He's so cool, and he's
pretty cool.
pretty scary. He's pretty scary, but he's also fast. Let's take a look. Oh my God, this guy is nuts. I mean, talk about a villain. This is the Dark Knight stuff right here. I mean, he
is scary.
I love how they spend time circling around him on their roller skates.
Look how fast these fight scenes are. Like it's
Yeah, the sword, it's absolutely incredible. I mean, very dangerous. Taking him out. One kick.
one kick to the shoulder.
And I'm
Babes.
just going to pause it here because, yeah, there is somebody that is not wearing a shirt and they have some handcuffs and they're hugging their bosoms and very interesting.
Yummy.
Yeah. Personally, not enough of that. I think that this movie could use some nudity. And for
I could
some
get
reason,
behind that.
For some reason they didn't, even though they had all of these amazing hotties. But what can you do? It's a perfect film. What else could I change? You know, at this point, I'm just picking straws, right? At this point, I'm just picking.
You're picking
just
straws.
picking straws. Right?
Yeah. I mean, of course I could use nudity, but it's okay.
We need more movies with nudity in them. It's just not right to not have nudity in them. Think of any movie.
None of these movies today have nudity.
Think
Super
of one
Mario
movie.
Bros.
Yes.
Minions.
Shrek.
None of these movies.
Any of the Shrek movies? You tell me you don't want to see Ogre Fiona's you naked? Yeah. Leaving it to the dang fan base to do all of the work. DreamWorks.
Why doesn't Donkey's penis hang down?
Let that thing fly and then show how it works with the dragon. You cannot name a movie that wouldn't be better with at least a little bit of
dragon's pussy lips. Show us the dragon's pussy lips.
I live a mile and a half away from DreamWorks, and I'm at the fence every other day, shaking the fence, saying, "Show me that dragon puss! Show me that dragon puss!" And their armed security, they know me by name at this point, and they will put their gun in my mouth. So
they don't know what the hell you're talking about.
They're just trying to do their jobs, but, you know, that's frankly what.
Oh, they could think you're talking about How to Train Your Dragon.
Another movie. Perfect. I didn't think about that either, but, yeah, a perfect example. All right, Pat, we're closing up here. But before we go, we do have, and this is, I mean, I've been looking forward to this all episode because it's just outright disgusting what these critics had to say about this movie. And it's just plain as day that they are bots or soldiers of the Hollywood elitist deep state. And, Pat, frankly, I just want you to let them have it. So I'll read you this. So Marky Prosciutto from Dynamite Press, Marky wrote, I felt like this movie was a terrible fever dream. Not one piece of dialogue connected this plot, and the next thing I know, this movie is on to the next scene? Who thought this was a good idea? Wow.
Marky Prosciutto. Dynamite press. I'm gonna press some dynamite into your fucking mouth. Make you swallow it, Marky. I hope you explode from internal dynamite. I'm gonna put a whole bunch of sticks of dynamite down your throat, and they're already lit. And I'm gonna make you swallow them, and then boom, your midsection's gonna explode into dust, and I get to watch the life leave your eyes.
In a video game.
I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself. Frankly, Marky, you wrote that reality for yourself. We are now back to the pre-2017 Eclipse existence, and all bets are off. So, you wrote this, it stood the test of time, and you're dead wrong, and you're going to have to pay for it. So, all right, Pat, we got the next one. Ralph Durgoff from US Weekly, a pretty popular publication, so pretty surprised, frankly. They wrote, this movie has the markings of a middle schooler's film club, except I would trust an 11-year-old with a camera to make something that makes more sense than this.
Oh my god. Does he even know that everyone was on rollerblades? 11-year-olds could barely skate.
Oh my god, that's such a good point.
Dumb.
I can't skate. And I'm 33. I can't skate.
I can't skate.
Nor do I want to.
So to think 11-year-old could do that camera work is beyond absurd, Ralph. I want to shove your dick and balls into a skate and twist it until your dick and balls fall off, and then I want to feed it to you. Fuck you.
Boom. Roasted.
Fuck you.
Boom.
Another one.
And last but not least, Pat, and I was shocked. Frankly, I was shocked. I could not believe.
Can we get away from this guy?
I could not believe what I found. Sure enough, the man we love to hate, Keith Beef from the Washington Post, wrote, a crackpot movie with a crackpot plot. United States of America? All this movie is going to do is put the wrong message into the heads of our youth. Next thing you know, we'll be electing Hillary Clinton as president. Yuck.
What does he mean by that?
This is what I'm talking about. I don't know if they caught him on a bad day, if he was tired or whatever, but he just let it slip. He just let it all slip. I mean, the script has been written.
He hates women.
Not only does he hate women, but he also is getting paid to play. He's getting paid to play. He's a soldier of the deep state. He is nothing but a sheep. He's a coward, and he doesn't deserve to live. I mean, his family is, if he has one, they have to be ashamed of him, frankly.
Of course they are. He's got to be an embarrassment to be around.
What do you do for a living, Keith? Yeah, I'm a film critic. No, you're not. You're not. Oh, Keith, can I read some of your reviews? Oh, sure. Ooh, what's this? All of your reviews, are bullshit?
Which almost makes him an asset, right? Because if he's wrong 100% of the time, you could read his reviews and realize, oh, if he hates the movie, it's probably good.
Then the movie was a target. The movie was directly targeted. You know, there sadly, and this is so unfortunate, but there is an endless list of movies that have been targeted by the Hollywood elitist deep state. The Hollywood elitist deep state.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
God, I got to get these buttons figured out. And this man...
Hey, you have too many.
This man is picking on... it's just like... I feel like we're listening to a toddler tell us a lie at this point, you know? You want to talk about...
Who's getting paid by the deep state. A toddler who's getting paid by the deep state to tell lies.
To swindle all this bullshit. Taki mushrooms. It's absolutely ridiculous. Pat, I'm gonna set up. Okay, here, Pat. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set up a
I'm
room
all
for you.
ears.
Okay.
Uh-huh. I'm ready.
Keith Beef we are in a stainless steel soundproof room, and he is chained up, feet.
Saw style or like Black Snake Moan style?
He kind of like Aladdin style, where his wrists and ankles
Oh.
are shackled to the wall in an X formation.
Oh, is Jafar there pretending to be an old man that's arrested too?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're gonna be Jafar with a gold tooth and all that.
Oh,
But behind
yes.
you is a table of various tools of torture. And what are gonna be your top 3 tools of torture in having your way with Keith Beef?
In a video game.
Well, first I'm gonna make him put that Mickey Mouse costume on, his bird out. I want to feel the power for once. I know hurt people, but this is a fantasy. Just let me have it. I'd make him put that Mickey Mouse costume on with his bird out, and then I would
Okay, so
play.
you'd whip out his bird and you'd put him in the Mickey Mouse costume.
I'd make his crow. I'd pull his crow out, and then I'd put a VHS tape on of me and you murdering his family in slow motion. And
Amazing.
then I would put him on a real life glue trap. And I'd just make him watch the video of us killing his family on loop until he died of starvation.
In a video game.
Wow. Oh, I'd
Wow.
feed him raw beef because his name's Keith Beef. I'd feed him raw beef.
I think
And
that's.
I'd just keep him down there till he died.
I think that I just feel like that's the best possible ending.
It's the most humane thing to do.
It's the most humane thing to do because, frankly, he's an enemy against all of humanity at this point. And if we were gonna be talking about the higher intelligence and the different species that are controlling our planet right now, frankly, he's not one of them. But frankly, he works for them. So, yeah.
We're going to have to kill him.
In a video game.
In a video game.
Well, that's it for this week. Thanks to everybody in the chat. PJ, Thunder Nuggets, all of the rest.
We love you.
We'll be back. We'll be back with another episode going over another amazing film that has been buried 6 feet deep by the Hollywood elitist.
The Hollywood elitist deep state.
The Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, lights, camera,